Hey guys, I'm Jake Taylor. I'm from a company called Fuse, and I will be the only one talking about something completely different than React Native. A little introduction to Fuse. We're a company of about 25 people. We're headquartered in Oslo, Norway, so that's the first big difference between us and React Native. We do have a US office in Silicon Valley, which is all of 2 people. Our background is we helped build and ship the world's most popular mobile GPU, which is used in billions of devices. It's the Mali 400, if you're familiar with that. And in general, we're kind of a bunch of video game and retro hardware console hackers that we do in our free time and also for other reasons. So the Fuse vision is that we actually want to build app development tools of the future. We're building sort of the tool suite that helps sort of unite designers and developers so that they can actually work together and create awesome apps. And we're doing this by embracing a real-time workflow, and we'll get to that in a minute. So I want to do a quick demo. It'd be lame if I told you I was building app development tools and I didn't have any kind of video to show for it. So this is an app that's been made by one of our early beta users. Out of Brazil, and as you can see, it has some really cool animations, really cool interactions, and we're going to look at a little bit of how this was made. Or not terribly into detail, but I want to look at the tech behind this. We only got 5 minutes. So when you're working with Fuse, you work with 2 major technologies. One is called UX Markup, and this is a markup language that we've created specifically for building mobile app UIs. So this is not anything like a web DOM. You use this to describe your UI elements in layout and also animation and motion. And when we get to how we do the business logic side of things, this will make sense. We want to, excuse me. Yeah, we also have navigation that we do here as well, and also gestures and that kind of thing. For business logic, you'll use JavaScript. This is so that you get fully cross-platform app logic. We have a CommonJS module system, so you can pull things in, require them, use them all you want. We support most existing JavaScript libraries. If they work on Node, they likely work in Fuse, and we're working on improving that. We also have a functional reactive data binding system that sort of ties the whole thing together. And this is why I wanted to, this is when I was talking about the UX markup. We do animation and everything here, so that can actually be compiled down to native code instead of actually happening in JavaScript, which is basically a performance liability. So some benefits of this approach is that it's generally less error prone when you actually separate your UX and logic like this. You can still package them together as a reusable component and use them in something else. But in general, it's sort of less code. You get really fast native UI code instead of doing like animations in JavaScript, for example. And it enables real-time UX and business logic updates without restarting the app. I'll also get to that in a little bit. This is what we call hotter than hot reload. And so as you guys are probably aware, especially from working on the web, you can do something called hot reload. And this enables you to live update your app all of a sudden, right? You don't actually have to like recompile or anything. Just change the code, reload, and it's good to go. So we get this with fully native apps, just like React Native does. And this also happens instantly across multiple devices. So every time you save one of your code files, if you have your Android device or iOS device all hooked up, they will all update immediately. In addition, you can see I have a screenshot there. We have a little bit of visual tooling that we're working on, where you can select nodes in your UX markup and be able to tweak parameters live. So you can scroll their opacity or change their width or height, that kind of thing. And that happens in real time, also on your devices. These things come together to sort of let designers and developers actually be able to work on the same things. So I'm going to have to rush even more than I already have been. I want to go a little bit over the technology stack that makes this happen. So I introduced you to UX Markup and JavaScript. Those lay at the top of the stack. So that's typically what you're using when you're building Fuse apps. We also have the Fuse libraries underneath, and this is your image, your scroll viewer, all that kind of stuff, which could also be replaced by like a native scroll viewer, for instance. Beneath that, we have something that we call the Uno compiler, and that will actually translate a lot of this code into pure native code. Uno is a programming language we created that sort of makes this happen. It's basically C# with a lot of drawing stuff in it, because we're GPU guys. This allows us to use both native UI controls, so we can have like a native button, or our own custom rendering stack, which uses OpenGLES for GPU-powered UX. If there's anything we don't support, you can pull it in with native code by either inlining like Objective-C or JavaScript or C++ in your code, or by adding another file. How can you get started? We're in open beta, so download, try it yourself, usetools.com. We have, awesome programs to help people that want to get involved, give talks like this. We'll support you, so get in touch. And thank you, guys.